Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
How many substances have you had tonight, sir?
Oh no, I may have broken the door. Don't look at it. Oh.
True.
What's your opinion on Freddie Mercury?
Oh! Well, that's unfortunate.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready.
So, one of the first horror movies I ever watched was The Conjuring. I mean, yeah, it was kind of creepy. The only scene I found that was kind of spooky to me was the crawl space scene. Like, Jesus, I can still admit that crap was terrifying. But I never have found paranormal stuff to be scary personally. I'm mixed on the actual existence of ghosts in real life, but in media I was never really scared by them. I found more fear in stuff that stalked you, like talking about games like Alien Isolation, Resident Evil 2, and actually occasionally moments of Dead by Daylight. That doesn't mean I wasn't interested in paranormal stuff though. So my memory was a little bit fuzzy, but I believe it was Ben who originally introduced me to Phasmophobia, and now that I look, somebody actually bought it for me, so thank you for whoever did that. But I got introduced to this game around a month after its full release, and that's crazy to me because I didn't realize how long I've had this game. Cut to over 2.5 years later, and I sat at a bit over 74 hours in this game, which I feel like is semi-decent for a time playing. And I think it sits at around number 3 in my overall horror gaming experiences. And I've grown to kind of love this game. It stands as one of those games that helped me through quarantine, and honestly, it was such a major part of my channel. I have 2 main channel videos and 6 more on an old alt that is literally impossible to find now. The oldest of these videos date back to actually like November of 2020, and honestly it's been cool seeing both my channel and Phas as a game continue to grow up. Like, comparing the game from back then to the game now is crazy now, but just looking at the spirit box alone, this game has changed so much.
Michael Davis, Michael Davis, are you here, my good friend? Michael Davis, Michael Davis.
Not real.
Holy shit, even back then I had the most beautiful of vocals. Like, seriously though, the amount of care that they've put into this game and the updates is beautiful to see. And that's why I want to talk about it. Okay, so I'm splitting this into 4 different parts, but the goal in Phasmophobia is to identify a certain type of ghost through evidence and observation skills on certain haunted areas. Speaking of haunted areas, so Phasmophobia has 12 separate maps, 10 unique maps, and 2 restricted versions of 2 of the maps. But if we want to divide them even more, you can separate them like this. You have your 1-story suburban houses, 2-story suburban houses, rural farmhouses, campsites, and finally, BAUM, which also stands for Big Ass Urban Maps. The 1-story maps are some of my favorite in the game. 6 Tanglewood Drive is the quintessential experience for Phasmophobia, and it's not only the first map to be added to the game, but it's also the tutorial map. And the layout makes finding the ghost very simple, and it's just the perfect starter map. 13 Willow Street is one of my personal favorites, especially in the house maps. It's slightly larger than Tanglewood, but has less rooms. And even though it's a small layout with the basement position and the garage, it gives you the ability to do goofy stuff with cursed objects, and I think it's the best map for single player play. The 2-story maps are fine. The farmhouses are a little bit boring to me, but they can be funny with other people. And also, seriously, the owners of these houses have serious drinking problems. The suburban ones are also fine. I really like Edgefield. It has a funny piano position, and just the instruments in general are funny. The campsite has a lot of Easter eggs, including Slenderman, Blair Witch, Friday the 13th, and more. And the map is probably the most unique to Phas, too, and I still like the inclusion of the house in the back. It makes it so it ties into more of an urban area, and the position of everything and the inclusion of tents make the layout honestly great and terrifying. Finally, there's the big-ass urban maps. The prison is cool. I like the cell blocks or the outdoor section with the basketball courts. So if you want to take like a quick break and shoot some hoops, you can. The shower rooms are neat, besides a certain cleaning item that was dropped. God damn, I feel bad for this ghost. The Brownstone High School is probably one of the most underrated maps in my opinion. The halls make traveling terrifying, but I do understand why this one is less played, because the classrooms can be repetitive. I'm just waiting to get around where the ghost room is the gym. Please give me that round. The final one of these maps is the brand new Sun and Meadows. Whee! It's so goopy. Also, the chapel room is spooky. But I feel like in comparison, I don't realize how big this map is. And whenever I play it, I'm like, oh, I have not seen this area entirely before. So weirdly enough, the equipment I have the least experience in is the defense equipment. Like I literally had to ask Fen yesterday on how a crucifix is used, and I'm still unsure how to use smudge sticks in a hunt. But I mean, I'm learning. Like I learned how to use a parabolic microphone finally, and I know the meta with starting items. The spirit box still reigns as the superior equipment for me. I love the spooks it gives. The spirit box itself acts as a mic registered object. So you speak into it and it'll either register as nah or... And there's also EMF, which can show lower level interactions with the environment or sense a ghost's presence. Occasionally it will show EMF 5, which will be a higher level interaction with a player and can be used as evidence. The UV lights, which is getting an update soon actually, can be used to find fingerprints on windows, light switches, and doors. I'm actually very excited for the update, and the stuff they seem to be doing with UV is great looking. Dots is a newer addition to the game, and it'll show a ghost passing through a hologram, and it's pretty cool. The video camera is the coolest equipment gameplay-wise, especially when you have multiple. I'm going to use Fen's term on this, but with this you can entirely FNAF this place up. But you can also use them to find ghost orbs, which look like dust particles. Okay, so I want to elaborate on this more. I love the cameras. Now, keep in mind that I'm not a game developer at all, but I can still appreciate the awesomeness on how cool these cameras are. I know the game is full of impressive interactive moments, but the cameras stun me, especially the head-mounted ones. I don't know how to describe it, but I just love this game, and it's been fun to see it grow up to what it is today. Hey, Peter! So the final one is a ghostwriting book, which the ghost will write in. Shocking. So, Phasmophobia currently has 24 ghost types, and all of them are fairly unique, I'd say. I want to dedicate an entirely separate video to maybe just ranking the ghosts, because that would be fun. Also, I could just spend half of that video just ranting about the mimic. But the ghosts are actually scary in this game, and the events, aka the jump scares, are so unique, and things like voice recognition and hiding make running from the ghost so unique, man. Things like this make me love Phas, and I'm not even that good at the game, but I just love getting spooked from it. So while I don't have the most experience with the monkey paw or the voodoo doll, the rest of the cursed objects are so cool. The haunted mirror just lets you see the ghost room, but it also makes you literally go insane. The music box caused the ghost to sing, in turn revealing its location, but it can also haunt you. The Waluigi board makes it so you can ask the ghost questions. Basically just like how a Ouija board is used in real life. Summoning circles just allow you to spawn the ghost, and the tarot cards can give various effects, such as the ability to lose sanity, trigger a cursed hunt, and of course, have the power of life and death itself. For more information about cursed possessions and just Phas knowledge in general, I recommend you check out Flash Force. I've been binging his videos recently, and it's helped me learn a lot about the game itself, and I can just feel myself becoming better at the game just from watching. So when you play multiplayer in this game, it feels entirely different. You might trade some of the horror factor, but you get incredibly silly and fun moments in return. It gives off the same energy as if you were to go to a haunted location with your friends in real life. Like, you'd be terrified, but you're also just goofing around. It's especially fun on maps like Sunny Meadows, where the map is so big that you just end up running around it and using cursed objects. And now that I think about it, there's so many ways to play Russian roulette in this game. Like, there's tarot cards, there's the music box, there's the Ouija board hide and seek command, and my favorite, crucifix relay race, where you run around the house with 4 people passing 2 crucifixes between each other. Okay, so I've never actually done this before, but if somebody does try it, please let me know how it goes. So Fen keeps wanting there to be an ability to do custom games where a player can be the ghost, which I feel like that would be fun. Also, I don't know how well that would work though. Personally, I just want there to be like an ability so the ghost can possess players or take control of them. Or even if like the voice recognition gets complicated enough, they can start allowing ghosts to steal players' voices. Kind of like the dog in Secret Laboratory. Hello. Give us a sign.
The spirit box?
They tried to do a fake task, but little did they
So just
the map base you showed stuff.
So now that I've introduced you to Phasmophobia, let me introduce you to its final boss.
What the f-
Yeah, when you play this game in VR, it's an entirely different level of scary. When you play it on a computer, you can see and hear it, but when you're playing it in VR, you can feel it. It's all around you. When you're on a computer, you can just turn your head. You can't do that in VR. You're stuck in hell, and not only that, but hell is just in your face.
X. Oh, excited. Yeah.
But honestly, from a player standpoint, it's so much nicer to play in VR. Not only can you hold an extra object, but you can carry more than 1 tripod at one time. But it's just so immersive to play in VR. When the ghost speaks into the spirit box, you can feel that on the back of your neck. Or when the lights flash, you start to actually fear. And when you die, normal players can actually see VR players holding objects, so you can just be like a floating spoon or something. And you have not felt fear until you have told a Ouija board to play hide and seek on one of the smallest maps in VR. There's genuinely so much more you can do in VR for this game, and it feels so broken, but it's so fun. Overall, I love Phasmophobia so much. It's such a good game, and it's one of those games where I can just feel how much care was put into this. Like, these are the games that make me want to get into developing because I love what they've done. I hope this game just lives on forever and continues to update because this game is just so much fun, and I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't played it, and especially just horror fans in general. I wanted to do a video on this game ever since I posted my first Barotrauma video, but now I finally did it. This game will always hold a very special spooky place in my heart, and thank you guys for watching.